Alright, so for this assignment, basically what I want to do is make two columns that represent for problem 14.5 anyway, represent the temperatures in degrees Celsius and degrees Fahrenheit, right? So first thing I want to do is write, as an example, I guess, I'll do a little bit of formatting. This column will be degrees Celsius. This column will be in degrees Fahrenheit. I'll make these bold. I can't remember exactly, but I believe the numbers are supposed to go from -50 to 150. So I'll start at -50, and then what I'm going to do to get to 150 is I want this cell to be at -40, this cell to be at -30, this cell to be at -20, and so forth until I get to 150. So instead of typing all of those out, what I'm going to do is just say that this cell is equal to the one above it plus 10, because my increments need to be in 10. So as you can see, it did change to -40, so I can just drag that down, let's say to about there. That's like way too far, so I'll drag it back up to where I want it to be, which is 150, and that's basically it. That's it for the degrees Celsius. Now, as far as the getting the degrees Fahrenheit, what I want to say for this cell, this is where I input my equation. And my equation to change degrees Fahrenheit, or I'm sorry, degrees Celsius into degrees Fahrenheit, is to take whatever value you have for degrees Celsius, which in this case for this cell is A3. I want to reference A3 anyway, and it needs to be multiplied by 9/5, and I need to add, I believe, 32. This might be a minus, I can't remember like exactly, but if it's a minus, then you'll need to change that. So if I go ahead and press enter, it's going to give me some value. So I can double check that equation right here. If I need to change that minus, I can do so just by doing that. But what I want to do from here is basically grab the bottom right corner of this cell and drag it down. And what it's going to do is it's going to apply that single equation to each and every single cell. So for example, if I were to go to this cell, double click it, I notice that this particular cell, this B15 cell, is in the equation, it is using A15, which is what I want. That's basically 14.5. 14.6 is a lot of the same, so you'll have that. I really can't remember off the top of my head, but you'll have, I believe, a set of numbers, I think in meters or in inches or in feet or what have you. I believe it's centimeters actually, but you'll need to find out the conversion factor, so you'll need to find out how many, now that I think about it, I think it goes from centimeters to inches or centimeters to feet. It's one of those two. But let's say, for example, you need to go from 50, let's say this is our centimeter, or these are our centimeters, and these are our values in, let's say, inches. So we're going to reserve this column A for centimeters and this column B for inches. I'm going to make these bold here. If you didn't notice how I did it earlier, one of the shortcuts that you could do is just click the cell and press Ctrl B, and that's one way to make it bold. I believe the increments, I don't know if they're 10 exactly, they might be, I think, like 5 or so. I really can't remember, but it's the same concept. You simply just find the conversion factor, let's say I think it actually is that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So in this case, my equation in this particular cell is going to be whatever I have here. I believe, let's see, it should be divided by 2.54, and yeah, and I will get 19 point something for this case of 50. So for example, if you were to turn in something like this, rename these sheets to, this one would be problem 14.6, this one would be problem 14.5. If you were to turn in something like this, that would definitely be okay, as long as what you started at and what you end at for the second problem are correct, even though I know for sure that this isn't correct. But the process of making an equation is basically all you need to do, and using like the little shortcuts that I used will definitely help you out. So that's pretty much it though. Hope this helps.